of a shake-up over in the Championship as Sheffield United get into the automatic spots, that's right. But what will go on in a double match week, we're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about match number 28, that's right, in the Championship. And we'll get to it in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe. Anyone stop shop for Championship, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right, Sheffield United, big winners this past weekend. Of course, Burnley and Sunderland cancelling each other out. James Trafford, the hero, of course, penalties, of course, could have swung that game the other way. What else went on in the Championship? We'll showcase you that in a minute. If you knew where you've been, hit the old subscribe. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last round of games and, of course, kick on forward to the next lot. Alrighty then, let's turn the clock back to this past weekend and bring you bang up to date. These are the results, as you see it. Burnley coming out on top. Actually did not come out on top. They come out with a 0-0, but in theory, mentally, they might have come out on top because Sunderland had not one but two chances to win it with a couple of penalties, but 0-0 in the end. Cardiff with a 3-0 win over Swansea in the old Welsh affair. Of course, bragging rights go to the Bluebirds. Millwall, and Millwall lost to Hull City. Ruben Selles, he's working a treat right now for the Tigers. Plymouth Argyle, though, do not look like they're in safe hands at the moment. 1-0 loss to QPR. I had a very poor week prediction-wise. Coventry, though, got over the line with a 1-0 win. Thomas Asante, I love him, but unfortunately, he looks like he's probably going to stay with the Sky Blues. Meanwhile, Watford with a 2-0 win over Derby. Big win for them and their promotion hopes. Luton Town under Matt Bloomfield could only draw with Preston. Meanwhile, Oxford, 1-goal winner. Branning with an absolute banger of a free kick to deny my Blackburn Rovers. Meanwhile, Pompey, 2-1 winners over Borough. Good call by me. 2-0 winners in my eyes, as was Sheffield United. 2-0 winners over Norwich, and West Brom and Stoke could only draw 1-1. And of course, hopefully, I updated the bottom of the bottom one there, Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, that will be taking place on Sunday, but should have the result on there on the screen. And I also should have updated the league. What we can tell though is Sheffield United are in the automatic spots. Going down, it is Plymouth, it is Luton, it is Portsmouth right now, but that could all change dramatically very, very soon because we got a double match week, that's right. But also Super Brew is keep on going, get your predictions in, all that kind of jazz. But we are looking forward to this round of games, and these are coming at you this coming midweek. We're going to start with a trip to Tuesday to Ewood Park, and it is my beloved Blackburn Rovers taking on the Sky Blues. John Eustace up against Frank Lampard. Of course, Eustace got a soft spot for Coventry. He used to play there. He's trying to rob them of all their players. That's right. A couple of players linked. But right now, Rovers are fifth, 42 points for the season, 42% form as well. They're coming into on the back of that defeat against Oxford. Up against Coventry, 67% form for them right now. Back-to-back wins. 14 for the table, 32 points for the season. Are Coventry starting to click in a gear? Well, maybe. Now, Coventry's recent run of form against Rovers is pretty good. We've played each other 25 times. They've won 9. We've won 6. There's been 10 draws between the two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 0-0 draw. In fact, the last 2 times at this venue has been all square. Coventry, though, have the rub of the green. They are unbeaten against us in the last 6, and Rovers have not scored against them in the last 3. Oxford, though, picking up the 1-0 win over Rovers most recently. Coventry with that 1-0 win over Bristol City. However, Coventry's a couple of away games in recent times have resulted in just 1 point out of the last 2. Looking forward to this one. No, I'm not. 31-20 is your Blackburn. 70-10 is your Coventry. 12-5 is the draw. Philly Pete will be in the hot seat for this one. Of course, luckily for him, because he won his game. I didn't win mine. What am I going to go with? It's been draws galore in this one. I think the bookies might even say it's a draw. I'm going with a draw, guys. I remember they're 0-0. We can't score for Toffee realistically unless something changes. But I don't think, even if we are to make any changes next day or so, it won't affect this game. 0-0 written all over it. Put your money in the mouth on the line here. Derby County against Sunderland coming at Pride Park. This is a sticky wicket here for Sunderland because Derby at home can be quite difficult. Derby under Paul Warne, though, 90 for the table, 27 points for the season. They have lost 5 on the spin. Grim stuff for them. Up against Sunderland and Reggie Labrie. Back-to-back games now without a win. 26 points, 26 times they've played since 1993. 4 wins Derby, 14 wins Sunderland. 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at this very venue, it was a 4-1 4-1 win for Sunderland, who won back-to-back against Derby, including a 2-0 win at the Stadium Lights earlier in the season. Derby, though, losing to Watford most recently. They also lost to Leighton Orient in the Cup, also lost to Bristol City as well. Last victory for them was a 2-1 win over West Brom way back on Boxing Day. Sunderland back-to-back defeats themselves, back-to-back games without a win, drawing with Burnley, losing to Stoke in extra time in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, Derby, of course, 12-5 for the victory, 23-10 is the draw, 23-20 is just Sunderland. Looking at that, Derby's form typically has been good at home, but they're not going to win this one. 2-1 win anyway. Sunderland taking the points, and again, keeping the dream alive. Hull City under Ruben Selles against QPR under Marti Kufientes, of course. These two guys are doing A-OK right now. Hull, of course, 21st in the table, 26 points for the season. 42% form for them right now, coming into on the back of a win. In fact, they've won one, lost one, drawn over the last three. Under Marti Kufientes, QPR, 12th in the table. Dare they dream? They could dare their dream. Just one defeat in the last 5. Heading into this one. Of course, 12th in the table, 35 points for the season. 25 times they've played, these two sides, since 2005. 10 wins, Hull, 7 wins, QPR, 8 draws between the two sides. The last time played at this very venue, 3-0 win, it was for Hull. Of course, Hull also picking up a 3-1 win over QPR at Loftus Road this season. QPR picking up a win over Plymouth. Hull also picking up a win against Millwall. Two sides coming into this with a good bit of form in the Championship. I want to say recent rub of the green. Definitely QPR, though. 6-5 is your Hull. 12-5 is your QPR. 11-5 is the draw. Difficult. Both coaches I like. I think they're in good places, and the clubs they're in good hands, safe hands. They're not going to be in any trouble. Hull are going to get this one, though. Just recently, ticking over nicely under Ruben Selles, and they're making new additions that are changing it up a little bit. So, Hull taking the points, QPR taking a backward step, but still in very, very good hands. Then we have the Mowbray Derby. How many Mowbray Derbies do we have in a season? Well, it's Middlesbrough up against West Brom, who have the Mowbray back in the hot seat, back in the dugout, coming at the Riverside, a place he knows so well. Michael Carrick's boys, that's right, unbeaten, actually winless in the last 3, just one win in the last 6. They're 7th in the table, 41 points for the season. Up against West Brom under Chris Brunt, cross that out, it's under Tony Mowbray now, 42% form for them right now. Also, 1 win in the last 6, of course. 6th in the table, 41 points for the season. Played each other 31 times since 1993. 15 wins Borough, 9 wins Baggies, 7 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 1-0 win for the Borough. They also played each other at the Hawthorns not too long ago. It was when was that? That was actually back in October. It was a 1-0 win for the Borough as well. So Borough back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. They're coming into this on the back of that 2-1 loss to Portsmouth. West Brom with a 1-1 draw against Stoke. The odds for this one, Borough 2019 on for the victory, 11-4 is your Borough, your West Brom, 5-2 is the draw. This has got Mowbray's hands all over it. It's going to be a draw, I think, 1-1 in the end, which could be a blessing in disguise for Rovers themselves drawing here. Oxford United against Luton Town, of course. New manager, not much of a bounce, but a bit of a, at least it's a point in the bag for Matt Bloomfield's boys up against Oxford under Gary Rowett. 67% form for them right now. They're cooking under Rowett. They're 15th in the table, 32 points for the season, just one defeat though in the last 6. Up against Luton Town, Matt Bloomfield, 8% form for them right now, 23rd in the table, 26 points for the season. They are still in trouble, and Bloomfield has exchanged maybe a promotion party for possibly a relegation party with what is a loaded squad. Played each other 12 times since 1993. 2 wins, Oxford. 7 wins, Luton. 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the Kazam, it was a 2-1 win for Luton back in October 2018 in League One. Wow. Meanwhile, of course, the reverse fixture, 2-2 thriller at Kenilworth Road back in October. Oxford on the back of that 1-0 win over Rovers. Let's not talk about it. Luton Town, 0-0 against Preston at Kenilworth Road. Not great either. 8-5 is your Oxford, 13-8 is your Luton, 12-5 is the draw. I'm going with the Luton Town victory. No, I think he's got to get a win here. First couple of days, train. It's going to be one of them. 0-0 is very tight. It could be a 0-0, could be a 1-1. No disrespect to Oxford. They won. They beat us. They were the better side. One stroke of genius, though. Will lightning strike twice? No. I just think Luton will get the edge, and they'll get their first win under the new manager. Meanwhile, Swansea City up against Sheffield United, coming at you over in Wales. Swansea need a bounce back and fast. A lot of disgruntled fans after that humbling against Cardiff. 42% form for Luke Williams, 13th at the table, 34 points for the season. Up against Sheffield United, Chris Wilder, 42% form for them as well, but 2 wins in the last 3. They are in the automatic spots as of right now, 55 points for the season. 14 times they have played since 2007. 5 wins Swansea, 7 wins Sheffield United. 2 draws between the two sides. The last time they played in Wales, 1-0 winners it was for Sheffield United. Won 4 on the spin against Swansea and haven't conceded a goal against them in the last 5. 4 wins to spin, haven't conceded a goal in the last 5. Wow. Swansea, though, losing 3-0 to Cardiff. In fact, back-to-back games now without a goal. Back-to-back 3-0s. Could be another one right here. Sheffield United with a 2-0 win over Ipswich back to... so they beat Norwich. They did lose to Cardiff in the FA Cup, of course. A rotated squad, though. 13-8 is your Swansea. 13-8 is your Sheffield United. 23-10 is the draw. Bookies calling it a draw. I think Sheffield United win this one, 2-1 win. And then maybe Swansea are in a bit of trouble. Meanwhile, Watford on the cusp of getting back into the playoffs here. Up against Preston North End. Coming at you at Vicarage Road. Watford under Tom Cleverley unbeaten now in the last 2 games. 1 win, though, in the last 6. Up against Preston. Paul Heckingbottom's boys just 1 defeat in the last 6. 16th for the table, 31 points for the season. Played each other 28 times since the year 2000. 6 wins Watford, 12 wins Preston. 10 draws between the two sides. Their last time played at Vicarage Road, it was a 0-0 draw back in April 2024. Reverse fixture at Deepdale, 3-0 winners it was for Preston. So Preston back-to-back clean sheets against Watford. They're coming into on the back of a clean sheet themselves, drawing with their rivals, Luton Town at Kenilworth Road. Watford, though, picking up a win against Derby, most recently 2-0 winners in there. The odds for this one, Watford 21-20 for the victory, 5-2 your Preston, 25 is the draw. I think I'm going Watford on this. It's going to be tight, though. 2-0 winners. Job done. Points in the bag for Watford, possibly into the top 6 as well. Meanwhile, Millwall against Cardiff coming at you at the Den. Millwall under Alex Neil. It's not really worked out for him just yet. 1 win in the last 6 for Millwall. 17th for the table, 30 points for the season. Up against Cardiff under Umar Ritzer. He's starting to get a bit of gear right now. Unbeaten now in the last 6 matches. 75% form. They are 20th with 27 points for the season. And have played each other 27 times since 2003. 7 wins Millwall, 6 wins Cardiff. 14 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the Den, it was a 3-1 win for Millwall back in April 2024. The reverse fixture in Wales, 1-0 winners it was for Cardiff. Cardiff picking up Swansea, of course, 3-0 winners in the end. Millwall losing to Hull most recently at the Den, so they need to get the result and fast. The odds here, 23-20 is your Millwall, 2-1 is your draw, 14-5 is your away win. I'm going, I don't think it could be a draw, it could be a Cardiff. I've been playing really well right now, but I'm going to go Millwall. Millwall taking the points, finally getting Alex Neil moving in the right direction. They did bring a couple of new additions to the team and maybe a bit more time. They'll get familiarised themselves with London and the way of life here at Millwall. Meanwhile, Leeds up against Norwich, that's in Wednesday at Ellen Road. Just a handful of games on this one. Leeds, of course, Daniel Farke's boys, 83% form for them right now in the automatics, cruising right now. Norwich back-to-back defeats under Jonas Torup, 11th in the table, 36 points for the season. They have played Leeds 28 times since 1993, 13 wins Leeds, 8 wins Norwich, 7 draws, of course. It is the Daniel Farke derby. Last time around over at Ellen Road, it was a 4-0 win for Leeds. When was that? It was back in May. It was the playoffs. Of course, Leeds coming out on top. Meanwhile, they also played each other at Carrow Road this season, 1-1 in the end. Leeds are unbeaten against Norwich over the last 6, 4 wins, a couple of draws. Leeds picking up that one. They actually, I am recording this ahead of the Wednesday game, which probably would have won anyway. Meanwhile, Norwich did lose to Sheffield United most recently. Back-to-back games now without a goal for them, having lost to Brighton as well in the Cup. The odds for this one, 9-4 on is your Leeds, 7-2 the draw, 11-2 is your away win. Leeds will win this one as well. 3-1 win. Norwich are a bit of a slump right now. Leeds just continue where they left off. Actually, 4 games. 4 games coming at you. One is at Portsmouth. I've got to do a bit of digging for this one. They're going to be taking on Stoke City. Portsmouth at home. They ain't no... I've done it again. I've made this fucking big. Portsmouth ain't no slouches at Fratton Park. They'll be taking on a Stoke City, of course, under Mark Robbins, who've got themselves a good win this past weekend. Of course, Portsmouth currently find themselves all the way into 22nd, 26 points for the season. Big win for them most recently. Up against Stoke under Mark Robbins, now unbeaten in the last 5 games. Of course, when I say beat, they didn't win. They drew. Sorry, they did draw against the Baggies. Now, they played each other 19 times since 1993. 6 wins Portsmouth, 9 wins Stoke. 4 draws between the two sides. Portsmouth won twice in the last 6. 26 points for the season. Up against Stoke, 18th with 28 points. A win for Pompey. Could see them leapfrog Stoke in the table. They played 19 times. Last time around, though, over at Fratton Park, it was a 2-1 win for Stoke. Back in the Premier League. Oh, my goodness gracious me. The reverse fixture, there was that 6-1 Tonkin by Stoke. So maybe Portsmouth going to have a little bit of a score to settle here. Portsmouth on the back of that 2-1 win over Borough. Of course, West Brom and Stoke 1-1 in the end. Stoke's last defeat was a 2-0 loss to Leeds a long, long time ago. I don't have the odds. I'm going to have to go on my gut. My gut says Pompey gets something out of this. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. Portsmouth taking the points and making it back-to-back wins, probably the first time this season. Meanwhile, we go to Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday up against Bristol City coming at, of course, Sheffield. Danny Roll's boys, 50% form for them right now. Doing this again ahead of the Leeds game. 50% form for them right now. 1-2 lost to and drawn 2. Up against Bristol City, back-to-back defeats for them. 58% form. They are 9th at the table, 37 points for the season. These two sides have played 28 times since 2003. 10 wins Wednesday, 9 wins Bristol City, 9 draws between the two sides. The last time played at Hillsborough, 2-1 win it was for Wednesday, who also picked up a draw at Thrashton Gate back in October this campaign. Bristol City on the back of that 1-0 loss to Coventry, making back-to-back defeats for them. Of course, we don't know what's going on with Wednesday. They did get through, actually did crash out to Coventry in the Cup. The odds here, 30-10 is your Wednesday, 21-10 is your Bristol City, 23-10 is also the draw here. I'm going to go with a Wednesday victory here. 2-0 winners for them, back in the race for the playoffs, I believe. And then finally, we go for a bit of a ding-dong affair. It's probably top versus bottom, or pretty much next to it. Plymouth are 24th with 21 points for the season under a new coach, Muran Musilic. I believe he's Austrian. Just 1 win in the last 6 for Plymouth. Up against Burnley, unbeaten in the last 6. Third in the table as of recording. 53 points for the season. Played each other 12 times since 2004. 3 wins Plymouth, 7 wins Burnley. 2 draws between the two sides. The last time we played at this venue, 2-1 winner was for Burnley back in March 2009. The reverse fixture this campaign, just the 1-0 win for Burnley at Turdmore back in October. Burnley picking up a 0-0 draw against Sunderland. Plymouth losing the QPR over at this very venue. This will be their 3rd home match in a row. 9-2 is your Plymouth, 6-4 on is your Burnley, 5-2 is the draw. As much as I'd love to see it, I really would. Burnley are going to win this one 2-1. It'll be close. Morgan Whittaker might get a goal, but then he might, of course, make a move to Burnley shortly after. Who bloody knows? That's it, guys. That's my picks. Get your predictions in using the link here for the Prediction League, and we'll be back very, very soon for the next round of games. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. We're done.